National Innovation Strategy. The nation station Oman FM with the cooperation of the Research Council presents Innovation Roadmap, an introduction to National Innovation Strategy from the Research Council.
Hello and welcome to Innovation Roadmap. Today, our guest is Excellency Engineer Ahmed bin Hassan Al-Deeb, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And to tell us more about innovation that is applied at the Ministry, let's join him. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
How does the Ministry of Commerce and Industry fit in as part of the national innovation ecology as an enabler?
First of all, in terms of legislations, I will speak about the rules of the ministry and that, and then about some centers that we are working in terms of encouraging innovation in the country. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry, they are in charge of the intellectual property rights in terms of registering the rights for any person or company in Oman, and also foreigner or local. So we have the intellectual property department within the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and its role, as I said, is to register all the IPs, all the new ideas, intellectual property, the patent. We register them at the ministries. We have our own examiners, and also we do coordination with international offices outside Oman, who will do the examining of the idea or the patent itself. So in terms of we have the policies and the regulations for that one. So this is in terms of saving the rights of people about the intellectual property. The other issue is in terms of creating some services and center that the ministry is working in with other organizations, private and public organizations. One of them is the Industrial Innovation Center that we are working right now under the Public Establishment for Industrial Estate, which is one of the organizations in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. This center, the Industrial Innovation Center, is mainly the task for it is to encourage innovative ideas in the country, especially in the manufacturing sector, helping the existing manufacturing sector to transfer to the new technology, looking at the new ideas and how to improve their productivity, their productions, their capability of increasing their product or production. So it will help the existing manufacturing, and also it will help the new comer to the business that have an idea that they want to move to the second step in terms of looking at the ideas in details and looking at how they can improve it. So this center, as I said, it will help those categories of those people that we have.
And the center will be located in?
It's located right now in Rusail Industrial Estate, but it will be moved to the Knowledge Oasis Muscat after we completing the building of the center itself. Beside, also as a ministry, we are working with the University of Suhar, and this is part of the Tanfeed ideas or project, that the outcome of Tanfeed in terms for the manufacturing, and that we are working with them to establish a professional product design center. And it will be like a prototyping facilities and also advanced manufacturing workshop. And this center, with the help or jointly with the University of Suhar, it will help also the industries to prototype their new product that they have. Also the new ideas that if a company has, or a person also, if he have an idea that will come to this center, he will see it as an actual product, and they will see how they can add to it or do some improvement to this product. So also this center, I think it will work toward achieving a good industrial product in Oman, and also not depending on the other center that's outside the country, which it will take times. We hope this center in the future, it will help in producing the diet and the design. It will be a design center on having the product for the industrial or the industry sector that we have.
So when we think about innovation in this aspect, we're looking at manufacturing field.
This one is manufacturing, yes, both of them, but also the Industrial Innovation Center can help, because innovations, usually it comes to the industry. You innovate, of course, a product, you innovate an idea, so you want to create, so it by itself is an industry. Of course, there are other innovation in the IT sector, and with the other innovation in the service also sector. So a lot of innovations, there. We are talking here about the Industrial Innovation Center, and also regarding this, what do you call it, the Advanced Manufacturing workshop that with the University of Sohar. But as you said, in our department, we register all type of innovations. It's not only the industry, but it can be innovation in terms of the IT sector, ICT, or any other services that can be done.
It's very exciting to know about the manufacturing aspect, because would you say Rusail Industrial Estate was where it all began?
Yes.
Must be the starting point or the cradle of manufacturing industry in Oman.
Yes. Well, the Rusail, as you know, established in 1983. It's a long time ago, and it was the first industrial estate where it has all the services, the facilities, and from Rusail then it comes the other industrial estates. So Rusail is, we would say, the beginning, or the, let's say, the mother of the other industrial estates, and we are very proud that we see the success of Rusail now, and it's a lot of manufacturing who are running their businesses very good. I think the time now it comes that we need to help those people who are there in Rusail to look at their product in terms of, the ideas change, the consumer also change, and new generation are talking about now 35 years almost. So the taste is changing, so they have to change, to also change in terms of a production, the type of product that they have to do, the marketing in this. So the center, it will help them in this, and alhamdulillah, they have succeeded in helping some of the industries who are coming to them, to the center.
That's what I was going to ask you. So would there be a connection? Because they have the experience, but they have the new ones would have the ideas.
Yeah, well, the center, it was there under a different name, but now we called it Industrial Innovation Center, and we have created a company for this. So it will be more, we give him the flexibility in terms of a decision making, in terms of coordinating and doing some sort of an agreement with international offices, their counterparts, and this. So I think it will help them, and also part of its work, it will be training Omanis. So now there is 100 young Omanis who are seeking for jobs or under the job in the industrial sector. They've been trained in innovations, especially in innovation, how to innovate, how to create new ideas in your business, or it is a new idea that you have. So the target is 1,000 person, but it will be within the different stages and phases for that one. But we finished now from training 100 young Omanis in this center.
Fantastic. Just now?
Yes.
Excellent. That's true innovation, because ideas are born and then now they have the connection with experienced industrialists, and they get the benefit of the new experience as well.
I think innovation, human is the main one if you want to talk about innovations, because it comes from the human, it comes from the brain, but you need to guide them how to work and how to do this type of innovations. And of course, you guide them in terms of how to do it. Also, you guide them where the centers that can help them.
Right,
out.
The basic
foundation for that, yeah.
We'll take a short break. You're listening to Innovation Roadmap, and our guest is His Excellency Engineer Ahmed bin Hassan Al-Deeb, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry.
The National Innovation Strategy focuses on achieving a national innovation-driven economy. You are listening to the National Innovation Strategy.
You are listening to Innovation Roadmap, brought to you by the Research Council with the Radio Sultanate of Oman. Our guest is His Excellency Engineer Ahmed bin Hassan Al-Deeb, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Now, from manufacturing and innovation, let's move on to Invest Easy, because that is another exciting area where innovation is at a different level. So how innovative have we been with Invest Easy?
Well, As you said rightly, innovation, it can be in the services, it can be on the procedures that you are doing at the ministries, and that's why we encourage our employees always to be innovative in creating new ideas that will help the investor. One of them is Invest Easy. Before Invest Easy, we used to do all our work is manually. The procedures is done manually, and so it takes time for people to finish their works and to finish their registrations. So a new idea of a creative idea of having why we don't do a portal that will be online services that for the investor that will make their life easy in terms of having their licensing, registrations. So we thought about having this project Invest Easy. And now, alhamdulillah, after the establishment of this portal, the companies or the businesses, the client to the Invest Easy, let's call them like this, they are very happy with getting their registrations. In minutes they can get their company name, they can register their companies, and that's comparing to a days it used to be. We are happy with that ones also. And now we are creating a new trend of applying for a licensing instead of having queues in the ministry. Now almost we don't have anybody who want to register. It's all online services or through Sanad offices they can register in that one.
Even the new beginners?
Even the news, yes, of course. It's mainly for the new, actually.
Okay.
Mainly now for the new. Now more than 80 services is available online, and I can say the trends, the statistic now, it's less than 20% of work that we have at the ministry. More than that, it's online. And the rest, it goes to the, as I said, the self services. Somebody wants to work by himself, he can work from his house, from his office. He can register and get his company to be registered. Or if he doesn't want to that, he can go to the other services that we have, Sanad or any legal office. He can have their own companies. Of course, the second step, which is more important than that, is the licensing, we call them, which is the link between our ministry through Invest Easy and other ministries, like Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Ministry of Manpower, ROP, all these and others, of course. They will be joining the Invest Easy portal, so we will have the linkage of these ministries in the same portal. So any investor that will apply, it will create his company. At the same time, it will create the activity that he wants, if it is an industry or tourism, through this portal. So the answer will come from the ministry direct, and he doesn't need to go to other ministries to get his application or to submit his application and to get the answer. Hopefully now we already have succeeded in linking 6 ministries, and we are working on having the rest within this year and the next year, inshallah.
And how about foreign investors? Are we seeing
they can apply in the same, of course, they apply in the same portal, yes.
Okay.
And now they have to come through a legal office, or they have to come to the Senate offices to do that. But we have to have like a certain identification for them to go through the system itself. Now the Omanis, can do through their ID card, and foreigners now we are thinking of creating to them like another ID card, like other countries are doing, so they can apply themselves directly through that. But now they can apply through Senate office or any legal offices.
How soon would the cards come for foreign investors?
Well, we are now looking at the best way of doing it. Some of the countries, what they do is you have to apply to give you a card, like they call it like a registration card, and it is you need to just pay a fee for that one. Yes. And some other countries, they use their own embassies outside the countries so that they can register for that one. So we are now thinking what will be the best way. But anyway, if they are here in Oman, they need to go to Senate offices, and it will be registered for them, or as they said, a legal office, and it will be registered for them, their companies. So we have eliminated a lot of work. I mean, Invest Easy is not just doing what we were in the past doing in terms of the process. No, we have done a lot of work in terms of re-engineering of our works. We eliminated a lot of applications, requirements, and we have eliminated so many procedures that we think it's not necessarily anymore for that ones, and that was the reason behind why it is now fast to register your company in Invest Easy.
Now, going back to a totally different sector, which is very exciting for Oman, is the growth of SMEs and the startups in the Sultanate.
Yes.
How easy is it, according to you, being the person you are in the establishment, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, where actually it's the source for all of these activities? From your perspective, how easy is it today for a startup?
As I said, we have to differentiate in terms of creating a company. As I said, you can create your own company. We have the less than 2 minutes being created a company. And we have a record for that one.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
and it was an SME also.
Okay.
So it's very easy to create your own company. It's a matter of you going online, a matter of knowing that, filling the application over there, and you can get your company right away. The other issue is the activities that you want to do.
Okay.
The activities, some of them related to licensing, so it's related to approval from other ministries. And as I said, now we are connected with some of the ministries, and we are going to connect with the other ministries. So their life is easy. I can say that. I mean, an SMEs now, he has only to apply from his office, from his house, or as I said, from the other enablers or like Senate offices and legal offices. So it's, in terms of applying, it's an easy for them. And also in terms of giving them the guidance, in terms of guiding them. Of course, as you know, that the government have created now RIADA, which is the SME Development Authority, and this authority is their task is to help them, to guide them, to encourage them, to encourage young Omanis to go in their businesses, also to help them in getting to the businesses with the ministries or the other private sector, big private sector. So this organization, it helps. I mean, as I said, the RIADA helps a lot for the. Here we were talking about the young Omanis who are 100% in their job. So and also, of course, there is a Rafad fund, which also helped them in terms of financing their projects. Beside, of course, there are incubators also. So we have now 3 incubators in the country. We have one incubator belong to RIADA. We have another incubator, it is a National Business Center under the Public Establishment for Industrial Estate. And we have another third incubator in the IT sector. It's under the Information Technology Authority. These incubators, it helps them in terms of guiding them, providing an offices for them, providing the financial advisors for them, marketing advisors they have with them. Also, this incubator center, it's helped them in terms of looking for businesses for the young Omanis who have, and we have a very good success stories who've been to this incubator center for 2 to 3 years, and now they graduated from, and now it's becoming medium scale industry. It's not anymore small industry or small company, it's a medium scale industries, and some of them growing to be bigger companies also.
Excellent. And we'll take a short break and be right back. You're listening to Innovation Roadmap. Our guest is His Excellency Engineer Ahmed bin Hassan Al Deeb, Under Secretary for the Ministry of Commerce and Industry.
More than 70 Omani experts and specialists representing various governmental, private, academic and civil institutions have been actively involved in the development of a National Innovation Strategy project, which was approved by the Cabinet in 2016. You are listening to the National Innovation Strategy.
You're listening to Innovation Roadmap. Welcome back. Our guest is Excellency Engineer Ahmed bin Hassan Al Deeb, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. We've been talking about innovation in manufacturing, of course, investment, and how to begin, new companies with startups. When we look at Matra Souk, I feel that's where the trading business began in Oman. Would you say?
Yes.
And in the international level,
It
decades, hundreds of years ago.
Long time ago, yes.
Now, when we look at the National Innovation Strategy of the Sultanate, Oman is to be in the top 40 in the Global Innovation Index by 2020 and be in the top 20 by 2040. That's the aim.
Yes.
And what will be Ministry of Commerce and Industry's contribution towards achieving that target?
Of course, the ministry, we are working very close in terms of the achieving the targets and achieving the strategy, innovation strategy. We worked very close with the Research and Scientific Center in doing the strategy by itself. through because of our role in terms of our intellectual property department, and through the role as the ministry of putting some of the regulations, policies related to the innovation that matters in the businesses for that one. So we have an ambition, and we are very optimistic that Oman will go and will achieve the target that we have, subject that we all work together. This is not an easy thing to do. I mean, in terms of innovation, with the new trend in the world now, everyone is working on achieving the same target that we have. More than that, some of the countries who are already ahead of us.
Yes.
Whenever we see that our number is becoming lower, or we have, I mean, in some countries, that doesn't mean that you are doing bad. No, because there are some countries that are going ahead of you.
Yes.
They are achieving their targets ahead of you and fast of you,
yes.
Because certain of things that they already have.
And maybe even the index will change, because when everybody reach an efficiency level,
of course, yes.
it starts all over
again. Yeah.
Yes.
So the ministry will work very closely. As I said, we are now with our establishment, those centers that I talked about before, and we are also encouraging the young Omanis in terms of innovations. We will participate with the other government organizations on encouraging the young Omanis in innovation center. And the trend now is of course, the ICT is the new trend that we have. Everybody's talking about artificial intelligence, Internet of Things. So this will change the world, actually. So I think now we have to do this. We have to create the base for the young Omani to work in these environments. So if you want them to work on artificial intelligence, you have to create certain labs for them. You have to create their environment that they can work on that ones. If you want to let them explore the new ideas on what they call it, the Internet of Things, for example, so you have to create also an environment for them. We have very good or talented Omanis. We have very clever Omanis that we have seen their ideas, we have seen their project that we have. This project, as I said, in terms of the idea itself, it's an excellent. Step number 2 is how to commercialize these ideas. So to commercialize this idea, either you have to send them somewhere abroad, or you have to create the base for them here in Oman. It's not an easy, it's an expensive things, but I think it's an investment. It's not a cost to us if we did this. So the government is working on creating such things in terms. Now even a fund have been established. It's the technological fund, and the aim of that is to try to take these new ideas that, or the people who have an IP or the patent, and to move with them to the next step and to commercialize their ideas, and to have it is seen and to be commercial, and it can be later in Oman and out of Oman to be marketed, the ideas. So the ministry were working on that, and I think it's a task that has to be joined together by all the parties. We have to do it, and as I say, it's not an easy, but everybody has to look at it as an investment. If we looked at it as an investment, the other party will be encouraged to go with us in this, and to create the basic for the young Omanis, and let them have the infrastructure related to their ideas. And it is there. It is a matter of, I said, coordinating with the international companies who have the ideas, who have created a new era, I would say, in terms of ICT, and they are known companies, and in fact we are now discussing with them how do we do like a joint venture. We came from United States 2 weeks ago, and we are discussing with one of the big, or more than one of the big companies, on how we can establish a center in Oman for such things, for
is it going to be happening soon?
Hopefully, inshallah, we are now inviting them to Oman.
Okay.
And as I say, some of it has to be invested. We have to invest in it for that ones. So by doing that, by making also the laws to encourage the young Omanis in this, and to help them in protecting their ideas, where we have now at the ministry, the department that will do for them, and we have to protect them also internationally. We have to support them in this. I think Oman can achieve the aims of the strategy.
Fantastic. And it's also like a knowledge transfer if the center comes to Oman.
Of course.
What are the foreign investments that are expected to be seen in the forthcoming years is what I'd like to ask you next. But just going back to the index, Global Innovation Index report says Oman is ranked 67 in terms of business environment and 28 on ease of starting business. So what are the alternatives suggested by Ministry of Commerce and Industry to boost performance of these particular indicators?
As a Ministry of Commerce, we are always, our target is high. We aim high, as you said. So in terms of the Invest Easy, as you mentioned, we are now number one in terms of the starting business. We used to be number 129.
Oh.
And the ministry have done just a certain, let's say creative ideas, and we have eliminated some of our procedure that was is to be an obstacle for the investor, and by also creating an Invest Easy. So we jumped from 100 and I think it was 150 something or in the world, or 32. Now it's 28.
Yes.
Now it's 28.
Yes.
So we jumped all this by just doing something. It doesn't harm. It doesn't harm the investor. It doesn't also harm the government, because that's only a procedure that it was an old procedure, and then we thought about it doesn't need to do it. So we have done it, and so this is a new creative ideas that we do. So we think also by doing what we are doing now, what we talk about it in terms of the legislations, new legislation that will help, Oman can go for more than that. And we are aiming number one, number two. We have to aim to that once, if you want to achieve a success.
You can, and that's like
we can do it. I think we can
speed
do it. Yeah. In terms of foreign investor, of course, the foreign investor in Oman right now, it's mainly in the oil sector because of oil. Of course, Oman is an oil generator. So it's mainly there. It comes to manufacturing sector also, and the service sector. That's the aim. But we are encouraging now the foreign investor in new technologies. We're calling them in the renewable energies. We are calling a new investor in the ICT sector. So this is the trend, as I said. So we are now trying to attract foreign investor in this sector. Besides the main sector that the government is focusing on, which is manufacturing, the fisheries, mining, logistics, and tourism. So this is the 5 pillars that the government is focusing in the 5-year plan and their 2040 vision, the vision 2040. But also within these 5 pillars has to be and the ICT, where the new trend is coming to the world, as I said, the artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things. This has to be linked with the manufacturing sector, with the tourism, with the logistics, with the fishery sector, and also the mining sector. So these are now is the aim and the focus to bring the foreign investment, and we have to set the base for that one.
So that's the next aim,
inshallah,
which is going on. Well, thank you so much, sir, for being here with us, and it has been immense pleasure to interview you, and in fact to get to know from your perspective what's going on, and to see where Ministry of Commerce and Industry is as an enabler for the national innovation ecology. Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you. This has been Innovation Roadmap, brought to you by the Research Council with Radio Sultanate of Oman, and thank you for joining us.
National Innovation Strategy. The Nation Station Oman FM, with the cooperation of the Research Council, presents Innovation Roadmap, an introduction to National Innovation Strategy from the Research Council.